day will come. And we will remain God. It's a long list already. Of course, I already know who some of these individuals are. Because of the nature of this case, we're going to make damn sure that we're right.
I thought TVG was telling the truth. And I thought that he had nothing to lie about. He had he's a big play. He had nothing to lie about.
Oh, so you met Tyson before the shooting incident?
Yeah.
What about after?
I ain't seen him. I seen how he was I seen him at the mall. He was with Jerome Williams, his bodyguard.
But the names that we're going to use, things that our investigators find to operate,
the shocking revelation that legendary boxer Mike Tyson has abruptly left the country after allegedly being implicated in tapes connected to Sean Diddy Holmes has sent shockwaves through the media. The FBI, currently investigating a myriad of allegations against Diddy, reportedly uncovered evidence that links Tyson to activities documented in these tapes. While the details of the footage remain classified, insiders suggest it is damning enough to have prompted Tyson's sudden exit from the United States. Has been at the center of a growing scandal following his arrest on charges ranging from racketeering to human trafficking. The indictment against him, which remains sealed, is said to include years of evidence pointing to illegal activities conducted under the guise of his entertainment empire, from his alleged EXP exploitation of young talent to connections with high-profile figures. The case has become a sprawling investigation that could implicate many others.
Because it's Tyson in his prime, where he was fucking terrifying. He was so fast, and he would do angles, he was bobbing and weaving, you couldn't hit him, and he was just coming at you. And he was young, he was 20 years old at the time. He couldn't be stopped. No one had the solution. And I submitted that Mike Tyson, and Mike Tyson that won the title against Trevor Berbick, Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes. I think that Mike Tyson is the best heavyweight of all time. I don't think anybody comes to him. He didn't maintain that form and wound up losing to Buster Douglas. And, I look at fighters when they're in their absolute prime. Like, what have you ever seen that was better than this? With Mike Tyson, I've never seen anybody better. I've never seen any fighter. Even Ali in his prime, even Ali when he was Cassius Clay, I never saw anybody who looked like Mike Tyson in his prime. I think you can't maintain the kind of focus that was required to be this guy. But Marvis was fucking terrifying, and he should be. Because he kind of knows. I mean, Marvis was a good fighter. Marvis was a good fighter. But this is just a terrifying mismatch. Like, if I was a Vegas odds maker, I would put this at 1,000,000 to 1. I'm like, he has to break his leg. Like, he has to fall down and twist an ankle. Like, otherwise, Tyson was 20 and Frazier was 25.
One of the most startling developments in this ongoing saga is the reported involvement of Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson, a name synonymous with power and intensity, has been captivating audiences for decades with his fearless personality and raw honesty. Once the most feared boxer on the planet, Tyson's fierce persona extended far beyond the ring. His unfiltered approach to life has led him to share deeply personal stories, confronting a tumultuous past with remarkable openness. From growing up in challenging circumstances to reaching the pinnacle of boxing success, Tyson has always been unapologetically himself. His boldness, both in and out of the ring, continues to intrigue fans worldwide, making him not only a legendary athlete, but also a complex, enduring figure in the public eye. In a candid interview on the P podcast, Tyson opened up about Hollywood's shadowy sides, specifically addressing the influence of figures like Diddy.
Do you think that the killer instinct folks in business, in politics, in sports, do you think they need a little bit of that craziness experience to go through, or not necessarily in all cases?
The consequences that you accept.
What do you mean by that?
By having that killer instinct, you're tired, you want, there's repercussions to that. There's lawsuits,
there's people that want to ruin the career and they want to hurt your family. You know, a lot of the questions are coming from the dog, the beast, animal. They use this test.
Tyson, known for his straightforward and unfiltered style, didn't hold back as he touched on the pressures and questionable power dynamics that can surface in the industry. He suggested that some high-profile figures may wield influence that extends beyond business and into people's personal lives. His comments hinted at a larger unspoken reality in Hollywood, and Tyson's willingness to speak on such sensitive topics added yet another layer of intrigue to his already complex public persona. Diddy parties have long been infamous for their wild and extravagant nature, often celebrated as the epitome of Hollywood indulgence. However, recent charges against the music mogul have cast a shadow over these gatherings, suggesting they may have harbored darker activities, including exploitation, substance misuse, and other illicit behavior.
Kind of his career, still very much so icon and famous figure. So she's just a young girl from Northern California who's gonna believe that he had done something to her like this. So she didn't tell anybody. She did not hire an attorney. All she did was make the police report in the hopes that maybe the police would try to investigate and come up with anything. But she said she kind of felt from the police that they were disregarding what she was saying, even without Mr. Holmes. So she didn't feel any confidence that revealing his name was done.
Sure. I mean, but there's a police report. Yeah, I mean, that fact in and of itself is a big deal, because when we were talking about going back in time, talking about these allegations of other alleged victims, you know, there's not a lot of police reports. So you guys actually have one. And is that going to be revealed? Are we going to be able to see it?
Yes, as soon as I file my lawsuit in civil court, I will be attaching the criminal complaint that was made. I'll attach the number so everyone can see that this is a real number and can go to the police department there and request their own copy of that police report that was made back in.
Well, that's something we still want to happen, obviously, so we want to follow up on that. Did Mr. Combs have any reaction? Do you know if he was interviewed? I mean, he was named in the police report?
I don't think so. Based on what she said, she really felt that the police were trying to bury this and disregard her claims and not really investigate, which is another reason why a lot of victims don't report these things to the police. We have to address the elephant in the room is that we have victims, especially women, who go to the police who are typically men, who don't actually investigate these things. They victim blame, they victim shame, and women don't feel safe or even protected to even make these claims because they don't think they'll be taken seriously, nor will they their claims be investigated.
Denzel Washington, known for his unwavering moral compass and strong principles in Hollywood, reportedly recognized the troubling undercurrents of these parties early on. According to sources, Denzel advised those close to him to avoid staying late, cautioning them to leave 30 minutes before the devil arrives. His cryptic yet poignant warning underscored the growing unease about the late-night atmosphere at these gatherings when behavior allegedly shifted into more questionable territory. His decision to exit early seems to have been driven by a desire to distance himself from what he now describes as sinister rituals. As more details come to light, Denzel's confession adds fuel to the growing fire of speculation surrounding the true nature of Diddy's infamous gatherings. Sources close to the investigation claim that the FBI stumbled upon footage while combing through Diddy's properties, including videos and other materials seized during recent raids. One such tape allegedly contains compromising content involving Tyson. While the exact nature of the material is not yet public, it is believed to portray interactions that could tarnish the boxer's reputation and possibly implicate him in illegal activities. With Diddy's name already mired in controversy, the inclusion of Tyson in this narrative adds a new layer of intrigue and suspicion. Mike Tyson's abrupt departure from the country has raised eyebrows. How was embarrassed the former heavyweight champion was last seen boarding a private jet bound for an undisclosed international location. Just days before news of his connection to the Diddy tapes broke, speculation about his motives for fleeing is rampant. Some argue it may simply be a precautionary measure to distance himself from the scandal, while others believe it could be an acknowledgement of his potential legal exposure. Tyson, no stranger to controversy, has lived a life punctuated by highs and lows, from his meteoric rise as a boxing prodigy to his infamous legal troubles, including a high-profile conviction in the 1990s. Tyson's life has often been under intense public scrutiny in recent years. He has worked to rehabilitate his image through a successful podcast business ventures and public appearances. However, this latest development threatens to overshadow his efforts to rebuild his legacy. The FBI's findings have also reignited discussions about Diddy's influence in the entertainment industry and the alleged network of high-profile individuals tied to his activities. For years, rumors swirled about Diddy's private dealings, but they were often dismissed as mere conspiracy theories. With each revelation, however, the lines between rumor and reality blurred. Diddy's empire, once celebrated for its cultural and business impact, now faces questions about its darker underpinnings. Critics have pointed to Diddy's history of cultivating relationships with rising stars, some of whom later spoke out about unsettling experiences.
It's not all the time they say this, but they say this is going our way. Not the bad. They say we got a lot of people who are going to talk and say that this is what Diddy was about, and some people may pass it off as hip-hop culture, but it is a series of felonies and RICO. What do they have wrong?
They did say in court today, they've talked to 50 witnesses. We said the same thing. We've been doing a parallel investigation at every single step of the way, talking to every single person. There's the same kind of universe of people here that he's been around. We're talking to people to show that we have a case. He's fighting, he's innocent, and he's going to be able to show it.
Innocent means he didn't do any of the wrong things. Not guilty means they can't make the case.
He's
right?
innocent.
So you think he did none of these things? He was never present in any of these activities? This was his lifestyle?
But a lifestyle and being present in activities doesn't mean he committed a crime.
Unless those activities in that lifestyle are criminal.
But those activities in the lifestyle are not criminal. What was notable today, my partner Mark said in court, is they never once said that these women didn't consent to what happened. Not once.
Justin Bieber, for example, has been vocal in recent years about his discomfort during his early interactions with Diddy. Similarly, Jaguar Wright has called out the culture of secrecy and exploitation. She claims to have wit in the music industry, specifically pointing fingers at Diddy's inner circle. These stories, combined with the revelations about Tyson, paint a picture of a deeply intertwined network where power and influence were allegedly misconducted. Legal analysts suggest that Tyson's departure could complicate matters for him if he is formally charged. Fleeing the country, while not an outright admission of guilt, often casts a shadow of suspicion. If extradition becomes necessary, it could lead to a protracted legal battle. On the other hand, Tyson's legal team could argue that he left for personal reasons unrelated to the investigation, a claim that might hold weight if no charges have been filed against him. Yet meanwhile, Diddy remains in custody at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, awaiting further developments in his case. His legal team continues to deny all allegations, framing the charges as a coordinated attack to bring down a powerful black entrepreneur.
Combs referred to as, among other things, freak offs. Now, you can be a freak, that's not illegal, but you can't force people to do shit. And this is what I'm getting at. When you have a lot of money, and you have no accountability, and you want to do whatever the fuck you want to do whenever the fuck you want to do it, I think you can go a little bonkers.
You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
I mean, you're complaining to a teenager that you don't really want to hang out with. Okay, but he didn't do this, just so you know. He didn't do this. He did not do this. He doesn't have... Oh my God. Look at all that baby oil. He didn't do this. He didn't have all these bottles of baby oil for nothing.
And we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore.
That means he's out of money.
He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government...
Okay, that's just dumb. He's not afraid of the charges? Wouldn't you be afraid of the charges? Where are you? You're in Rikers Island. You goddamn well better be afraid. They just executed 2 search warrants. They've got obliterated serial numbers on firearms. They've got videos and baby oil. You know what he needs is somebody to tell him the truth. You are absolutely, you're going to prison for a good portion of the rest of your life. I guarantee you, they've offered immunity to the people around him so that they testify.
However, the mounting evidence and the sheer number of names being drawn into the investigation make it increasingly difficult to dismiss the claims as baseless. The charges indicate that Diddy exploited his position to manipulate and coerce individuals, painting a deeply concerning picture of the power dynamics at play within his circle. As the indictment continues to unravel, the public is left grappling with the serious implications of Diddy's alleged actions and the potential involvement of other prominent figures, if found guilty, these charges could bring about significant consequences not only for Diddy, but also for the broader entertainment industry, potentially revealing long-held secrets in Hollywood's elite circles. Recently, the FBI has issued arrest warrants for many celebrities who are allegedly connected to crimes of P. Diddy. Diddy faces severe charges including trafficking and racketeering, which reportedly involved other high-profile figures in the entertainment industry. These developments follow a series of legal troubles for the hip-hop mogul whose alleged criminal activities. Sports commentator Stephen S. Smith recently weighed in on Combs' escalating legal troubles, noting that the case could extend beyond Diddy himself, potentially implicating other figures in the entertainment industry. Smith suggested that Diddy's indictment might reveal a broader network of involvement, hinting at the possibility of high-profile figures facing scrutiny as investigations unfold, drawing parallels to notorious cases like those of Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. Smith remarked that federal authorities seem determined to expose hidden layers within these powerful circles. According to Smith, the gravity of the charges against Diddy suggests that the case might pull back the curtain on an industry accustomed to keeping its darkest secrets under wraps, leaving many to wonder who else could be connected.
These stories, because I think it's important to point this out. When you highlight and you talk about some of the charges that have been leveled against him, and you see some of the stuff that's being said about him. Look at this right here. Former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day writes, "I never thought I would see this day," she told TMZ. "We all buried this inside of us in order to be able to keep going. And not just me, but victims you don't even know yet. We're all processing what that type of vindication can actually feel like now. Every conversation I've had with victims last night has been beyond me on all levels." That was Aubrey O'Day. You know 50 Cent was going to make sure his was clowning P. Diddy. Taunting him, basically, because he's long taunted P. Diddy for years over the harrowing allegations against him. And what does he say here? This is yesterday, 50 Cent. "Here I am, keeping good company with the Drew Barrymore TV show. And I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house." 50 Cent was referencing the over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricants for the freak-offs that the indictment revealed were allegedly found during the raid at Diddy's home in Los Angeles and Miami back in March.
The potential fallout from this case could be monumental if Tyson is indeed implicated and more figures are revealed to have been involved. It would mark one of the biggest scandals in entertainment history. The ripple effects could extend far beyond the individuals named, forcing the industry to reckon with systemic issues that have long been ignored or hidden. Deal has asserted the allegations against Combs reach far beyond the hip-hop mogul himself, hinting at a vast network of powerful figures including politicians and businessmen who may be involved. Deal suggests that the gravity of the accusations points to a web of influential individuals connected to Diddy, indicating that some could be implicated as a result of incriminating evidence purportedly uncovered during recent investigations. As the investigation unfolds, the public remains glued to every update, eager to see how this tangled web of allegations and revelations will ultimately unravel. The center of a storm that shows no signs of abating. The world watches as two iconic figures navigate what could be the most defining moments of their lives, with the stakes higher than ever before. Even back then, doing that City College when he was fired from Uptown Records, he was making statements about doing itself. He had that same look in his face. I don't think that he could see himself in the cage. I don't think he can see himself behind those bars in those type of situation. It's too many real dudes that dislike him. Do you think Tyson's sudden departure is a sign of guilt, or could there be more to the story? Share your thoughts in the comments below.